Hi, this is Plutus Academy and I'm Vishaka Tage going to discuss about Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Yeah, Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, or shall I say which Ambedkar are we talking about? See, this is the most recent issue of the organizers of RSS. They have mentioned that they has a picture of Mr. Bhimrao Ambedkar on its way. They have hailed him as the ultimate unifier. The issue dated on 17th April 2016, and they have featured him in several articles that he was a great man. In one article, they have mentioned that he provided the great glue for nation building. In another article, they have mentioned that his visions and actions resembled that of Brahm Samaj, Arya Samaj, etc. A third praising his interest in work rights. A fourth calling him as a timeless leader who apparently was not against Brahmins but in against of Brahmical order. All these essays and issues as a whole are entirely celebratory, but what did the RSS thinking, or in their mouthpiece thinking, when Mr. Ambedkar was alive? In order to seek the answer of that question, I have focused on the year of 1949 to 50. In this session, Mr. Ambedkar was a law minister in the government of India, and he was both finalizing the Indian constitution as well as advocating the reforms of Hindus' personal laws, so as to give great rights to women. The RSS approved both his efforts. The RSS issued an article on November 30, 1949, carried an editorial on the Constitution Assembly by Ambedkar. According to the RSS mouthpiece, the worst thing about the new Constitution of Bharat is that there is nothing Bharati about this. There is no trace of ancient Bharati constitutional laws, nomenclature and ideology. While the organizers complained that there was no mention of unique constitutional developments in ancient Bharat, Manu's laws were written long before Solon of Persia, and to this day his laws was enunciated as the Manusmriti, which excite the admiration of world among Hindus in India. But to our constitutional pundits, that means nothing. Ambedkar was not mentioned by name, but clearly as a premier constitutional pundit, he was major target for the RSS. Even the RSS Sangh Chalak, Mr. Golwankar, complained in a speech in August 1949 that the reforms piloted by Mr. Ambedkar has nothing Bharati about it. Few questions have been raised by Mr. Golwankar, the Sangh Chalak of the RSS at that time, duration of 1949. In the speech, he had mentioned that marriages and divorce cannot be settled on the American and British model in this country. Marriage, according to the Hindu culture and laws, is a sanskar which cannot be changed even after the death. It is not a contract which can be broken by any time. Golwankar continued by saying that it might possible in some of the lower caste in the Hindu society, they have recognized divorce or practicing divorce by custom, but their practice cannot be treated as an idol to be followed by all. An article in the organizers of the RSS dated on November 2nd, 1949, which characterized the Hindu Code Bill. It is a direct invasion on the faith of Hindus by marking it as giving the provisions of empowering women to divorce is a revolt against Hindus' ideology. Then a month later, an editorial published the Hindu Code Bill, the organizers dated on December 7, 1949, led with this paragraph that we oppose Hindu Code Bill because it is a derogatory measure based on Aryan and immoral principles. If we condemn it because it is a cruel and ignorant way on Hindu laws, Hindu culture and Hindu dharmas. They wrote, the RSS people wrote that some widows and widowers, childless women and grandpa grooms have combined to loosen our ancient laws and for the levity of a few. Then they specifically target the two architects of the bill. The framer of this bill whom the framer of this bill. Then they specifically target the two architects of the bill, whom the organizers sarcastically referred as Mr. Rishi Ambedkar and Maharshi Nehru. They have claimed their reforms that they would atomize and infected each and every family with scandals and suspicion. The organizers thought that the bill would break families and set brothers against sisters, while the new provisions have allowed women to choose their marriage partners, to divorce from their brutal husbands, and to take charge to inherit their ancestral properties. Apparently, these rights were not given to them previously. One speaker of RSS have said, Mr. B.N. Rao, the framer of this bill, and Mr. Ambedkar, who was known as the pilot of the constitutional bill today, both declared themselves to be as not Hindus. Even they were not married as per Hindu laws, Hindu rights. Such man should have not been trusted for the constitution bill, for the formation of this bill. And this article has been dated on December 14, 1949, according to RSS. In this issue of formation of Constitutional Assembly Bill, on January 11, 1950, the organizers printed a long letter by Mr. KDP Shastri complaining that the one general, Free India, have mentioned Mr. Ambedkar as a Manu of the modern India. They had mentioned that it is an instance, the RSS people had mentioned that it is an instance of depicting a Lilliput as a brooding gang. Surely, Dr. Ambedkar's disservice in the recent past to the Hindu religion is too well known, said the letter writer, and his collaboration before 1947 with the pro-Pakistani Bengali Dalit leader Jorgen Mandal. Ambedkar, this RSS has insisted, may be a good man now, but surely he can have no claim to be a Manu of any blessed age. Organizations like individuals have a right to change their mind, but the truth is that in the crucial period when the Ambedkar was a law minister and he was framing the Constitutional Assembly, the RSS revived both him as well as his ideas. That's all for today. Thank you.